So I actually just got back from Mexico, and I was planning on filming this video while I was there, but I didn't, first and foremost because I'm a coward, and I didn't want my neighbors to hear me sitting on my balcony talking to myself about how graphic sex scenes are actually essential to the plot and emotional arc of Heated Rivalry. But secondly, because it sounded like there was an excavator just going to town nearby, and I didn't trust the noise cancellation on my microphone. So you guys once again get to enjoy the view of my parents' gym instead of, Mexico. So, sorry. I decided to do a full video on Heated Rivalry because I made a short on it a few weeks ago, and it actually did pretty well. Well, for me. I watched the show again, and the more that I thought about it, the more I realized I had to say about it. So I just thought, fuck it, let's roll. A lot of people are saying that Heated Rivalry is blowing up so much because it's a return to romance, and people have basically been starving for good romance in recent years. Now, I've said it a million times before, the romance genre is not my thing, but I do love a well-done romance. It has to be good to get me, though. So for me, as someone who, isn't looking for new romance things to watch or keeping tabs on the romance genre, the show isn't so exciting to me because it's a return to good romance. It's exciting to me because it's a return to good TV. TV that wasn't written to be background noise to your doom scrolling. It's written great, it looks great, and it's acted great. And those are like the big three that you want in a movie or a show. And it just doesn't seem to happen very often anymore, particularly in TV. So I have watched this show thrice now, and here's why. I mean, other than the fact that it's just really good. I'll be thinking about a specific scene, a big one for a lot of people, myself included, being the all the things she said scene, and I'll be thinking, wow, that was a great scene. I want to watch it again. But then I'll just think, well, I might as well watch the whole thing again because the whole thing is made up of great scenes. And if you're like me and you skip episode 3, you can burn through all of it in like 4 hours. I am amazed at what they were able to pack into 6 45-minute episodes. And the fact that they were able to get me this emotionally invested in an 8-year situationship in such a short amount of time is actually mind-blowing. We blow through 10 years in 6 episodes, and it somehow feels totally fleshed out. In the span of 1 episode, we go from this to this. Diabolical. How did we get here so fast?
Why are we going so fast? What?
I started the episode feeling all warm and fuzzy and shit, and then by the end of it, I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I love having my emotions played with like this. Situationships are so much more fun when you're not the one in them. I think they were able to pull off covering this many years so quickly because most of the screen time is focused on Shane and Ilya's interactions, and they're only in the same place like a couple times a year. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty fuzzy on the timeline because I just get so caught up in it, and I'm not thinking, oh, it's been 2 years since this event happened in the last episode. But even though the show is mostly focused on the two of them together, we do get enough time of each of them on their own that they still feel like fully developed characters outside of their relationship, and that's done really well. I love how real these characters feel, and we get so much development out of them, especially Ilya. His story is heartbreaking, but his journey and growth is so satisfying, and Connor's story is just absolutely amazing. This show was cast excellently, and I think it's great that they found 2 essential unknowns to fill these roles. Both Connor Story and Hudson Williams are phenomenal actors, and I can't imagine anyone else being able to do a better job. I love how opposite these guys are to the characters in real life. It's truly a testament to how talented they are because it is shocking. In the show, you very clearly have a black cat golden retriever dynamic, but then in reality, it's golden retriever, and I actually don't even know what this is. It's not a black cat. There is nothing mysterious about this man. Actually, that's it. It's a feral coyote.
I want it to be a little bit like a hungry coyote.
You've got a golden retriever, feral coyote. Those 6 concussions actually explain a lot.
How many real-life ones have you had?
6.
Have you really?
Yeah.
You've had 6 concussions?
Let's wrap this up.
I'm so glad that they found the perfect guys to play Shane and Ilya because these roles are so sensitive and they were handled with so much care. I love that 80% of what we learn about these characters' inner workings is shown to us and not told to us, which is a combination of great writing and great acting. It's just as much about what's being said as what's not being said. Subtext is something that is desperately lacking in modern media because studios don't trust their audience to be paying close enough attention to pick up on it. It's so refreshing to be able to discover these characters organically without having their whole character profile awkwardly forced into the dialogue somehow. The most obvious example of this that I can think of is how Shane's autism is conveyed to the audience without them ever expressly telling us that he's autistic. It's something that you just slowly discover about him on your own, the same way you would if it were a person entering your actual life. And I love that. Disclaimer, I have not read the books, so I know I'm heaping a ton of praise on Jacob Tierney here when he did have the books as his source material. I'm sure that Rachel Reed is a fantastic writer, obviously good enough to inspire Jacob to create this wonderful show. With that aside, Jacob Tierney did write and direct all 6 episodes of the show, and I think that he is just insanely talented. I'm so glad that he hung on to his vision when other studios were trying to get him to do things differently, because what he made just works. My husband also recently got into Shoresy, so we're having a fun little crossover moment in our house right now. We like to tell each other about our respective hockey shows made by Jacob Tierney. As incredible as Shane and Ilya are, the show also has really great side characters that steal your heart without stealing a ton of screen time. I love Hayden, I love Svetlana, I hate everyone else in Ilya's family. I love Shane's parents, and Rose. We love Rose. Rose is actually my favorite. I want her to be my friend. But I even love Hayden's wife, Jackie, who has like a grand total of 30 seconds of screen time.
We both have to make your wife happy now?
Yeah, damn right we do.
She cooks Shane a special diet food, she keeps the fridge stocked with ginger ale, and that's all I need. I find it super adorable how an indicator of how much someone cares about Shane is if they keep ginger ale on hand. Also, as someone who is about to have 3 kids, I thoroughly enjoyed watching Hayden and Shane try to keep track of all of the kids at the aquarium.
Oh, wait, do I have all the kids?
I felt that on a real level. This is another area of the show that Jacob totally nailed, making the side characters feel like real people that we love, instead of just plot devices waiting around to jump in at the right moment to fill some need for the main characters. Bravo. Now, the moment we all knew was coming. You can't talk about Heated Rivalry without talking about sex, so buckle up. Like I said in my short, I do think there was a bit more booty than strictly necessary.
Were there a few more butts than I necessarily wanted to see? Yes, but at the end of the day, it is just a butt, and I think I'll probably recover.
But I did find all the scenes, or at least definitely most of them, to be pretty important and impactful to the story. And it does chill out after the first couple episodes, which I love because it follows a natural trajectory as Shane and Ilya develop a more emotional connection on top of their physical one. I don't think sex is needed in all stories, but it is needed in this one. And if that makes you uncomfortable, that's okay. I'm not going to sit here and call you a prude or anything because it's definitely a lot. And if that's not your thing, then maybe this just isn't your show. Because sex is a hugely important part of this story. And that's not going to be for everybody. I have seen such extremes on both sides of this argument, with some people saying that it's essentially corn and that that's the only reason that people like it. And then the other side getting super defensive and basically shaming people for thinking that it's extreme. Let's calm down a little. It's spicy, okay? And some people are okay with that, and some people aren't. Not everything is made for everybody, so let's stop slamming people for having different boundaries. Now, like I said, it is a lot, but it is not corn. And it does actually provide a lot of nuance to the story and the characters, making this one of the few shows where I actually think that this much sex is important to the story. And finally, I'm going to touch on episode 3. I get why this is an important episode and why people love it so much, but it's just not for me. I watched a video that said that people who skip episode 3 have their brains turned off. Like, whoa, that seems like a harsh assumption. Just because I don't want to spend 45 minutes watching an episode that isn't about the main characters that I'm currently so invested with does not mean that I have my brain turned off. I actually watched Amanda the Jedi's video before I even watched the show, because at the time I had no intention of watching it. So I already knew going in what happened in the episode, and I had the context that I needed so that the end of episode 5 still made sense. If I hadn't watched Amanda's video, then I would have watched the episode. But even so, I still probably would have skipped it on the rewatch. But who knows, maybe one of these days I will get around to watching it, and maybe I'll agree with this creator that I'm brain dead. Anywho, that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please give it a like if you made it all the way to the end, and consider subscribing if you love movies and TV shows as much as I do. I would love to hear what you guys think about Heated Rivalry down in the comments. If you like this video, you should click on whatever YouTube is recommending to you over here or here, and I will see you all next time. Bye.